He says so. See that? Oh. Look for this. It's mostly.
You're on, Christine.
Oh, okay. So transitions was pretty basic, and there's just a ton of different stuff. So I just covered some really easy stuff, and then I figured like the basics, and then we'll just kind of look at the code that I have. So it's pretty much just like it sounds. It gives us the ability to control like an animation speed. So if we want to do something that transitions from one thing to another kind of gradually, then we would use the transition rather than just an animation. And there's, there's a lot of different little things that you can do, controlling the speed, how quickly or smoothly or subtle you want the transition to occur. And so defining the transitions, this is what I have here, and this is just from W3 schools. And it talks about the first one is just the main, it's like the shorthand property, so it allows you to set the other, set everything basically in one. And I have a couple of examples, which you guys have probably already been using it, working on your stuff. But it allows you to set like the delay, the duration, the timing function, the property, and everything within the just the one transition rather than having them all separate. So this is what the one would look like. The one that's the shorthand example of transition. And in this example, I used all, but it it would be like height or width, here, whatever you're wanting to transition, the duration, and then the timing and the delay, which I can talk a little bit about those in detail if we don't know what they're doing. And here I just have
a question. Sorry, Christine. Where you have property with all, you wrote the word all, but if you didn't want to make it all, how many, like, would you have 4 properties in there? Or
from what I could see, it depends on like what you're like. If you're just wanting the width to change in the transition, then you would just put the width. If you're wanting the width and height to change, then you can put the width and the height.
So you can put multiple, like as many things as you want to change in there.
I have only used like height, width, and all, but I'll look at some different examples too, because I have a couple of websites that I wanted to show you guys. And these, like we've used these before, it's just for the different browsers to make sure that they're going to recognize it. Like this one, the WebKit is Safari, I believe, and then Mozilla and Opera, whatever that is. I've never used that browser, so I don't know. Maybe it's a Mac thing or something. I'm not familiar with it, but we can put these in just to make sure if, that whatever we're using in the transition will be available for the different users through whatever browser they're using. And you just stick it in right before the transition, like so it just go in front. And then the longer example would look like this inside of the code. So this is the property, and this is the one where it's just doing the width and the duration, and you see where it's all separate here. So, I mean, you can use the standard, and pretty much from what I could see, the shorthand is basically just to kind of help your code stay clean, because if you're having a lot of stuff, you don't really want to have to list all of these blocks out multiple times. You could just keep it on that one line and a lot less actual code written out. And I'll link this in because it has like the different references that I used. This is another YouTube tutorial at the bottom. that I have found this guy has tons of like really helpful, easy to follow stuff that you can take and just like manipulate it and put it, you know, like put your own stuff to it so that it's your code, but it just gives you like a really basic idea of where to start. And I can't remember what I have to do to share other pages. So I'm gonna. No.
What do you mean share other pages? Just go to another page?
Yeah, I'm just trying to share my browser windows now. I think is that, can y'all see?
Yep.
Okay. So this is one I'm sure you guys have probably used if you've been looking online for different examples, because this one I've used quite a bit for the different stuff we've done in this class. And this just shows a little more explanation, like we were talking about the property earlier. So I don't know, there's somewhere, maybe on the W3 site where it actually has somewhere else. There was one part on here that I didn't, when it was talking about the transition timing function, I've really only used like the linear ease in, out, and those, but there's like cubic, I don't even know how to say it, Bezier is one of the properties. It explains it on this website, and then you can basically set your own stuff. Here's where it talks about it, this little chart where you set everything like separately in this, if you use that one instead of just like linear or ease out or ease in. Let me go to, I liked this one because I could go down and you can click on each one of these and it'll give you just more details of what different things you can do. See, like I hadn't really seen the property use more than just one or two. Like, see, I've only seen like width and height, but I haven't seen more than one. But these are the different ones that are on here on this website. And let's see. But that's, I found this really helpful when I was trying to write my own stuff, just to give me a different idea of like what I could use, what it's going to do, because it tells you like the different values that you can use with each one and like what it's going to do. So it gave me a little more idea of what to use in my code.
I have a quick question. Are we supposed to be doing all these things with JavaScript to manipulate? No. Oh, we can just do it with CSS?
Well, like do you mean like the transitions and the animations and?
Yeah, like is he expecting us to use JavaScript, like to write it in JavaScript like we did with the manipulating the class properties, or we can just write the plain old CSS for it?
I think we're just doing the CSS and then we just execute it with JavaScript. So like I'll show you, is that, did somebody say something?
Well, I was just gonna say, I know somebody had asked a question on the Canvas and I was gonna go and look at it right now. I don't know if anybody else saw it. I'll go take
I don't think I have. Okay.
I don't look at anything on there. I don't know that anything happens there. So.
I still didn't figure out how to turn on my notifications. I haven't even looked at it because I don't know.
We get all or nothing. Hundreds or nothing. I opt for nothing. That's all I can handle. So, okay, so you call them with the, anyway, I'm interested to see what you did.
Okay, let me share now what no, that's another one I'm working on. Okay, I think that in this is the one, I actually have two different submissions for transitions. I may just, can y'all see this, my code and stuff?
No.
No?
Yes, now we can.
Yes, okay. It may just be slowed down. This is the second submission I did. The first one was just, and I can go to it as well. It's on my homepage. I just did it in two separate pages, but it was just a photo transitioning, or two photos transitioning one to the other. And he wanted more examples. And so this is the more examples that I did. The first one, you just hover over it would be like how a thumbnail works and pops up a larger picture. The next one is just a box that changes colors, because I had a hard time finding more examples that were practical. But he was satisfied with these. The last one, it kind of rises with it's not as smooth in the preview here as it is on the web page, but that's the last one. And let me see if this is the one I use. I know one of these I'm pretty sure I used. Yeah, here's the JavaScript that I use. And this was for, sorry. I've been working on so much different stuff. I'm having trouble remembering what all I did. I think this is for the little sunrise circle. Let me see. Oh no, this is for the picture, I think. Let me see. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, this is the only thing this is the only piece of JavaScript that's in it. So it's just a function. It's not like everything, like all of my CSS it's all on this one file, but you can see it's in the style. That's just my background color, but here is the little sunrise circle. This is all the style code for that. And these images are my thumbnail. And the figure is this box that changes colors. And so this is only for one of these animations that I use the JavaScript for. It was just so I could learn how to use it, so that when I had to submit my next examples, which I have another one that I'm working on that I haven't finished. Let me see. Oh, no. I don't know. It's being weird when I try to click on this one. Let me see if I can get it. I haven't, but this is the same way. I still have a lot of work to do. I've just got some basic code for this. I haven't edited anything really yet because I just started today. Can y'all see this? Yeah. With the little bulbs?
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Okay. Down here is the script for this one. So it's just, it's basically just the changes are executed with it. And in here, rather than having each of the bulbs set like as its own div, I have the bulb in my JavaScript so that it just repeats a pattern rather than writing each one out individually so that it's there. But I think as long as you're using, I can't really take credit for all of that. But that's, sorry, I'm trying to get back to where I was. I think I have. Is it back to my first one now? Is it showing the first one with the thumbnail?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And so these were my examples, and they're on my page now, like the link that I shared in the Slack channel. It's all on there. And so you could view the source to see everything kind of in action there. But that is pretty much all that I've done, and I got a 10. So if
Nice.
you're getting too complicated or if you're spending too much time on it, you probably don't need to, because this stuff is pretty simple, and he really liked the little box, the little ball that does the sunrise. He said it doesn't jump around like that on the actual page. I guess it's just because it's in the preview. So are there any questions then about it?
Not for me.
Okay.
I guess, is there a way, that little box that has the changes the different colors, is there a way that you can do that it loops through, kind of changing the different colors automatically?
I think so.
Yeah, you can change like from blue to red, or from orange to yellow, and put a time on it.
I think you can just put it, like I put it on a click down here in my code, and I think that's another bonus of the JavaScript, is that it gives us access to more things like click events that the CSS alone doesn't, from what I could understand. And so that's why I chose, because this is the one that, now I can remember, this is the one that's using my JavaScript. So I set it on a button, but you could just use it
on page load.
Yeah, I think just to transition from whatever colors you want it to be. And it's pretty simple. I've had luck just finding tutorials on YouTube. I've had to look around for some stuff. I like to start simple, so I have a lot of room to edit my own stuff around. But
do you guys ever look at CodePen? You should click that link I just put in the chat. It's pretty cool. I'm like, okay, I might be motivated to do something with transform CSS stuff. Oh, whoops, hang on, I didn't put it in the. There we go.
With a little submarine.
Yeah, here, click that, Christine. Maybe you can even pull it up on the window. I love that thing.
Let me, if I stop sharing, maybe I can do it then.
Yeah, it's harder.
Oh, here, okay, yeah, I couldn't see the chat thing.
Yeah.
Let me. Oh yeah, okay.
Anyway, CodePen has so many of these things, especially for CSS, all this transitions, transform stuff. And I love it because you can see their code right up at the top. Like, oh, that's how you did that CSS thing, and that's how you did HTML. I mean, like this one is using Sass, but you can still get the idea.
Yeah, there were a lot of really neat things. Some of them I tried to start on, and it ended up being too much.
Yeah.
For me to be able to actually make it my own with my understanding.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff that can be done with it. So
especially, there's another one that's all about spinners, and I think that one's probably really useful for us. So it's a bunch of different ways you can, like, while the page is loading or people are waiting for something, you can have a spinner.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Thank you. All right, is that it?
Oh yes, sorry, that is all that I have. Unless there's
no, is that it? That was great.
If someone thinks I can answer something, I'll try. If you have a question.
You did good. Thank you.
That was really good.
Thanks.
Are you up, David?
Yeah, I can go.
Cool.
All right. So, let's see here. So when I was, I completely spaced out. I focused on the tags and not so much the media tags.
Okay.
But I have stuff that I can throw in there with it. When you said that, I just realized it.
That's okay.
I didn't have it all. So, know if I can find the right screen. I think it's that one. All right. Okay, HTML5 tags. Many different tags in general. Inline, block, and grouping. Inline tags. These do not start a new line. Do not start on a new line and only use the space that's needed. And there's a list of some of those, and there's many more. That's just a small list of those. Then there's the block tags, and they start on a new line and they take the full width available. And there's a list of some of those, such as the div, the heading tags, paragraph, and so forth. Some grouping tags, common div, use that a lot, and that's a big block section in the document, and you can use a span. It's just an inline to group things. Let's see. And then the HTML semantics. Tags are used to give semantic meaning with each element. HTML tags should convey the underlying meaning of your content. For example, I guess the strong tag defines important text, and I have that written in there twice. Some elements add meaning to the overall layout of the web page, called sectioning elements. That kind of gives it the format where the header, the main part of the article's navigation area and the footer area, kind of, so those tags kind of define those areas. And then using the tags is, if you, I guess is, I'm not 100% sure. The search engines is, I mean, I guess there's an algorithm for the search engines and how the tags are. I'm not exactly sure that that's.
I can speak about that just a little. Like,
okay.
For instance, your title tag, which is in the header, like that's super important. That one's in your tab. Like that's what users will see. Like, but also you can put, like a pipe, and then you can put, I think, up to 60 words beyond that. And those are kind of like your keyword searches. So like when Google is indexing your page, those are the things like they're going to look for. So like putting those things like in that title area is like really important.
And only
then,
the first one shows?
sometimes the other ones, no, the other ones can show, but the tab's little. So it's
Okay.
like, and actually that's a good question. I think I've seen it show, but maybe I'm confused about other things I've seen. So maybe it doesn't. But and then just your other semantics too. Just let things know like you should only have one H1 like in a page, right? Because that means it's like the thing, like that is like the title of the page, like that's the main thing. And then just different sections and stuff. It just helps, like it helps on the like the SEO side, just for like the bots or whatever that are reading your page to know what's happening. Like, oh, this is an article, this is content. If everything's a div, it's so vanilla, like they don't know what's going on. Like they don't read classes. They can read, section, article, heading, etc. Stuff like that.
All right.
And then accessibility, which I think you were going to go to as well, which is actually really important. So.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. And also with the screen readers as well. Like you're saying, if it's a div, screen reader doesn't exactly know whether that's a paragraph or what it is. For those, you use the screen readers to have text read or whatever from a tablet. So like here, div click me, this is non-semantic, but if it's, you know, got the button, it gives it more semantic meaning as what it actually is. Div span tells nothing about its content. And if you use the form, table, article, etc., they clearly define what the content inside of it should be. And then I have, oh, go ahead.
Can I just speak about accessibility for a second? Just because
Yeah.
I work for a software company, and it's not something I've really appreciated before until I've kind of heard more about it. But to realize that planning things for accessibility doesn't just help like disabled, but it helps people with temporary like problems, like you break your arm, like, oh, being able to do something like with one arm like that, it doesn't just help disabled people, it also helps a mother with a baby on her hip, right? Or it helps somebody like, oh, you might not be able to read, but maybe your eyes were dilated, but you have to read that thing for work or whatever, like, and but you can't read the screen, so you have it read to you. So I don't know, that just kind of broadened my horizon and made me like value more like accessibility is like multi-layered, and like it doesn't, it's not just people who are like permanently disabled, but it's like just different points in your life when you need those features. So
Okay, yeah. And then I just have a few links in the back there. And one of them, it just gives a very lengthy list of all the different tags and their semantic meanings. And can't quite remember. It's been a week. I think the other one, same thing as well, probably just a different website.
that's I like that domain name. Interneting is hard. That's cute.
See what I got here. And then for my thing I got here, I just made a little outline with the HTML page. It just, it's probably not perfect, but just has everything where your heading group, your H1 subheader, navigations in the navigation tag. It's kind of like the sectioning, and then that's all in the header.
I've never heard of the H group.
Oh, really? And
Yeah.
then, yeah, I'm not too familiar. This is just what I was seeing some of the other ones when I looked it up had in it.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's something that's necessary or not. Like all the meta content stuff. And so what you were saying with keywords, like you're using the title for the SEO.
Like
Is
your
that
row 9. No, your row 9.
row 9? Yeah. So this doesn't do anything for CEO on 6 for keyword?
No, yeah. That can as well.
It can as well. Okay.
Oh, the one on the side. I'm sorry. The one to the pipe, to the right of the pipe for your title. That will be like your subheading on your Google index. So like when it indexes the website, and it'll have like, here's all your page titles and a little blurb about them. That's where that comes from.
Oh, right.
How I'm remembering. It also helps with keywords, but yeah.
And then here it got a section, and then within the section, got one article, and then another article down here, separated with the HR. And this is just lorem and some, not really anything. And then if you have a figure, sectioning with that, another nav footer, and that's just for the tags. See what I think. And then this is just what it looks like. Just kind of
Nice. Looks good.
just gives it a, I don't know, that's just general text. And so, yeah, and I didn't have the media stuff in it. I have other stuff that does. And it's just real, let's see here.
Well, I just did my media one today. I can share on that if you want. I can add to your lesson.
Okay. See.
What'd you do just to show you the work, Laura?
As far as with my media stuff,
Yeah.
I did, I used the audio, was it the audio, video, and the iframe?
Mm-hmm.
And then I just
Like displayed them in a page, or
do what?
you just displayed them in a page?
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty simple.
Okay. Nice.
Did you want me to go ahead and show you? David, are you done, or are you still?
Yeah, here's like a video tag. Source.
We don't see it.
You're not seeing it? Oh,
Mm-mm.
okay. That's okay. Then you can go ahead.
Or just try to click on it again. It only views the active window. I don't know.
Oh, maybe I'm not on the right. No.
Okay.
I may not. I don't know. Code Safari.
Okay.
I don't know. Is it sharing?
Oh, yeah, something's showing now.
It's just the video, and then it has the width,
Gotcha.
the height. And then if you set the controls, if you type in the controls, it gives the controls when it brings it up.
Okay.
There's the source, and then the audio is very similar. So
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
And then
Good.
I don't know. You wanted to share what you had?
Yeah, I can share what I've got. Here, I'll share. Sorry. Oops. You guys are in the way. Ah! There we go. Okay. So here's my code. It's like I said, it's pretty simple. I have my iframe, which is where I embedded a YouTube video, and then my video class, or my video, which I forgot. Yeah, it's a video that I had to, another video from YouTube, but I had to change it over to an MP4. So I had to figure out how to use a conversion to do it at MP4. Otherwise, it's just going to do just like this web page. You know, if you do put in a web link, it's just going to go straight to the web page or off the web page. And then the audio is another video, but I pulled the MP3 from that. And so so this is basically how it shows up. So this is the link for the YouTube, and it just plays just like any other link. And then the video, the MP4 video, even though it's a YouTube video, it won't show up just like the previous one did. And then the audio, even though it came from a video, it's just doing just the audio, and it plays only the video, or only audio. So, you know, as far as I know, that's all we were supposed to do. Is that right?
I think you mentioned Canvas too, and I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either. So I don't know. I mean, I think that'll get me a 6 at least, right?
Yeah.
when I looked up Canvas, I couldn't anything except people like drawing shapes with it and stuff.
Right.
So I'm not sure what makes it useful, but I just drew. I mean, I can show you what I have if I can find mine. What am I?
It's used to draw graphics on the fly via JavaScript.
Yeah,
It's
and that's
only a
what.
container for graphics. I was reading. So.
I think this is the. Yeah, if I can share it real quick, just to show you. He hasn't graded it yet, so I don't actually know what he'll say. Maybe he'll say no. Okay, can you see this little? Yeah, now when I put it all into my web page, it actually has like a video of my son riding a tricycle and then a song that I uploaded from my computer. And I just put those on my GitHub, like in folders, so that I could link them in that way. But that's what I came up with. And
so that's just drawn with Canvas.
yeah, and I did like a shape, and then I did a border on it, and then I cut like a rectangle out of it.
Can we see your code again now?
Yeah, let me, I'm just pulling this one up in brackets. I have so much junk opened. It's a bad habit of mine.
I'm the same boat. You're not alone. You're in good company.
Okay, new share. I keep just trying to pull up stuff thinking you guys can see what I'm seeing.
I see a black box.
Hopefully it'll fill in a second.
I see it.
Okay.
I see it now.
This was just the shape. And this might be no, this is the one I changed. I got like there was one I found that was like a rectangle or something, and I just changed it around. So you can just, this is the clear rect is where it clears out a little rectangle in the middle. And if you just type it into like YouTube, there's a lot of different videos to kind of just give you an idea of how to make something. But this is all also it's on my page with my video and audio tags as well.
Cool.
But yeah, hopefully.
So you have shape. Okay. You're creating an object. Interesting.
Yeah, I think it all works pretty much the same way. And probably once you're into like graphic design or something, I don't know, maybe that's when you really use it. But I looked a lot, and I tried to find something other than just drawing basic shapes, but I couldn't find anything that I could really follow.
Yeah, cool. Thanks. All right, do you want me to show my JavaScript elements real quick?
Sure.
All right. Hang on. Let me pull it over here so you can see it.
And I think, do you guys know, even after, like, I know by a certain week we have to have our fluency to a certain level, but can we continue working on it after that to bring our grade up?
Yeah, he said you can keep working on it. You just have to have them all turned in.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, good.
Yeah. Yep. So I made this so you can, it actually loads like I gave it some default values, and then I have the function onload when you load the page so that you have something to see what you're working with. But so like you can change, like if I want this to be like, 330 and 200, or that big, but maybe not. And if I want a border radius of like 30, and I want to use the Arial, and I want my font type to be 48, and let's change this, and then let's click view, and it will change.
Oh, that's cool.
So, anyway, it's kind of fun. And then, you can do, see it change a little. anyway, just I don't know, had fun with it. So
Yeah, that's neat.
That's pretty cool.
thanks.
I like that.
Well, that didn't change, did it? Aqua, blue.
So
Cool.
is this one, are you doing this one for like your transitions or?
No, this was just the manipulating with JavaScript elements.
Okay.
Dealing the elements with. I can't talk. It's like manipulating CSS with JavaScript.
Oh, okay.
So,
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
so if you see, this is my code, which actually is pretty simple. So
Yeah, it is.
yeah, it just had boxes for everything. The thing that was kind of like tricky to realize was like for these things like height, it's actually a text string, so you have to put like plus pixels or whatever. I also tried percentage because I prefer to use percentage over pixels just for responsiveness, but it didn't like percentage, and I'm sure there's a way to do it, but I didn't mess with it too much. But for the other things that were numbers, so I had to like get the value, but then I had to parse float to make sure that it was a number and not a text string. So, and then I could use it like, and then some of them were, so if you look here in my HTML, like for the select fields, right? Because nobody's going to put in the right exact name. So I didn't want to like leave it open. So I made a select field, but the value is actually what it's reading. So it's not actually blue, it's light blue. So like, I could change this to be purple or whatever, but it's the value that it's reading. So like these are, anyway, so those I didn't have to like that's reading the string properly. So I don't have to do anything with it. I just could use that variable there. So, and I'm really feeling like there's probably some way you could work an object into here, but I didn't. So not this time, but anyway, it was fun. So
That's cool.
Yes, I like it.
thanks. So, okay.
So Chris wasn't able to make it tonight, and Wesley wasn't able to make it, and Pierre's dropped. And did we ever figure out on Ty? Did he drop too?
What did
I
he
think
say?
he might have, because when I went to the class list of all the students in Canvas, Ty wasn't on there, unless like he just goes by Ty. But I didn't even find his last name that's on the Slack channel. So it could be just some weird thing with Canvas too.
Yeah, last Wednesday he said, sorry, I'll be at the next one.
Yeah, I saw that. But I do know also the deadline for dropping was like in the last week or so.
Oh, really? Gosh, I thought
if people were going to drop and still get W or whatever it is, it was right at the deadline for dropping.
Okay.
Yeah, I just looked at the groups. I just looked at the groups on Canvas, and him and Pierre aren't on there. So
yeah, that's what I saw. I didn't see either one of them, so he may have dropped.
So who has admin access for this Slack channel? It's not me, is it?
Him.
I think it was Ty.
Yeah, Ty started it, but I don't think that should affect anything, right?
We just probably want to just like boot him out. I mean, for his own benefit, it gets to be a pain when you're like, I'm in all these Slack channels. So.
Yeah, maybe he'll let us know something, because I know he also was one that had a lot going on.
Yeah.
In his personal life.
Okay. Well,
hopefully we'll hear. I think he was supposed to do a lesson next week too. I have the schedule up, so just animations. That was his lesson for next. Like I have transforms and he has animations. So.
Do you want me to do your animations?
I personally have already submitted mine, but if someone else needs it, it doesn't matter. I mean, I can show what I have too,
Sure. I mean, hopefully I'll have submitted mine by then. So.
Well, but Wesley's supposed to be teaching on transitions and animations next.
He's doing both. Perfect.
Yeah, because somehow they had it like broken up into all these different categories for submission, and one was very specific that you use JavaScript, and the other was just like using it without, I guess, but didn't specify that I think you could or couldn't, but the other one you had to. Mm-hmm. So his should be the animations and transitions with JavaScript. Wesley's should be. And so that should cover, I would think he presents really well usually, so that would probably cover the animations portion well enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop this recording.
Oh, yeah.